Good morning, dear students. Today we can discuss about the continuation of previous class. We already discussed about different operations related with files. Okay, then now we can implement that operations to Python program. Did you see? First, our topic is various properties of file objects. Here one image is given. If any clarity problem is there, you can refer your textbook. Okay, actually this image is from your textbook. If you have any clarity problem, you can refer your textbook. Then here once open is successful and the file object gets created. you know when if you want to perform any operation related with a file, first you should open that file. That is the first purpose. Once opened is successful and file object gets created, we can retrieve various details related to that file using its associated properties. After opening that file, you can perform different operations. Here first one is name. Okay, name of the opened file. Second one, modes. Different modes we discussed in the previous class, previous live class. Mode in which the file gets opened. Then third one is closed, returns boolean value which indicates whether the file is closed or not. Then fourth one, readable, returns boolean value which indicates whether the file is readable or not. Okay, return boolean value means it will returns whether it is true or false. Okay, that is called boolean values. Okay, these are the four associated properties. After opening the file, uh, open is successful and file objects gets created, we can retrieve various details related to that file using these associated properties: name, mode, closed, readable. Sometimes you may have some confusions related with this. That confusion we can solve through the explanation of this program. Did you see here? One program is given: f equal to open test.txt comma r. Okay, if you want to perform any operation to a file, first you should open that file. F equal to open test.txt. Okay, actually what is test.txt? It is an example for a file. Test.txt comma r. What is that comma r? It's mode, read mode. Okay, r is its mode. Then f equal to open test.txt comma r. Then print file name, print file name within double quotes, then comma f dot name. Okay, then another one, print file mode comma f dot mode. Then third line, print is file readable comma f dot readable. Then fourth line, print is file closed comma f dot closed. Then after that, f dot close. Then print is file closed comma f dot closed. Okay, actually this is a program. First line, f equal to open test.txt comma r. In that line we mentioned a file is opened and its mode is in the format of readable mode. That's why they given r. Okay, f equal to open test.txt comma r. Then now that file is opened and its mode is readable. Okay, now we can perform, after giving that code we can perform different operations. Then what is next line? Print file name comma f dot name. What is file name? Test test.txt. Okay, f equal to open test.txt. File name is given, comma r, that means mode also given. Then print file name, comma f dot name. Okay, f dot name means it will access that file name. What is that file name? Test.txt. Please look into that output part. File name is there. File name we already given within double quotes, so it will print as same file name equal to test.txt. How we got that test.txt? We already given file name, comma f dot name. F dot name means file will access, that file name will access. Okay, so we will get the result file name test.txt. Okay, then next print file mode, comma f dot mode. File mode, comma f dot mode. What is that file mode? We already given r, so please look into that output part. File mode r, that means readable mode. Then third line, print is file readable within double quotes, then comma f dot readable. What is that f dot readable? F dot readable means whether that file is readable or not. Here, is file readable? True. Okay, file readable, we already given that mode as r, so we can understand that that file is readable. So in this output part we will get the result is file readable, true. Then print next line, print is file closed, comma f dot closed. Okay, print is file closed, comma f dot closed. What is its output? Is file closed, its output is false. Is file closed equal to false. Why we didn't close that file? Okay, we already opened that file, its mode also mentioned as r. Then print file name, comma f dot name, that name is file name accessed to output. Then file mode also accessed, f dot mode. Then print is file readable, f dot readable. Okay, f dot readable or not. What is its output? True, it is readable. Then print is file closed, f dot closed. Okay, its output is false because that file didn't closed. So we will get the result as is file closed equal to false. Okay, after that, what is next line? F dot close only. Okay, now only we are going to close that file. We already opened readable mode also started, then a different name modes, file readable, etc. All these things we accessed. Then now we are going to close that file. Did you see? What is next line? F dot close. Okay, f dot close. After closing that file, one more line is there, print is file closed, comma f dot closed. Is file closed, comma f dot closed. Is file closed within double quotes. Please look into that output part. Is file closed. First is file closed, its result is false because we didn't closed that file. After that line we closed, f dot close, using that code f dot close. Then again we given one more code, print is file closed, comma f dot closed. Did you see? Two times we given that code, print is file closed, comma f dot closed. Its output is, first output is false, then f dot close, that file is closed. Then again that same code is given, print is file closed, comma f dot closed. Now is file closed, result is true. First time its result is false because we didn't close that file. After closing that file, again we given that same code. Now its result is file closed is its result is true. Okay, these are the various properties: name, mode, closed, readable. All these properties we accessed through a single program. Okay, did you understand what I say? Here we already opened one file. uh, its mode also given as readable format. Then we access the name, mode, readable, closed, etc. Okay. Next topic is how to read data from a file. Okay, we already discussed how to open a file, how to perform, how to access its name, how to access its modes, etc. Okay, then now we are going to discussing about how to read data from a file. Okay, after opening a file, we can perform, we can read data from it. Okay, then here did you see in this slide, first operation is read. Okay, first operation is read. What is that? It is used to read the entire data from the file, starts reading from the cursor up to the end of the file. Okay, this operation read parenthesis is used for what? Read the entire data from the file, which is used for reading the entire data from the file, and it starts reading from where? From the cursor up to the end of the file. That means beginning, where we place that cursor, from that position to end of the file. Okay, we can place our cursor in the different parts of that file. When we use this operation, read operation, what will happen? It starts reading from the cursor to that end of the file. Okay, to read the entire data from the file, starts reading from the cursor up to the end of the file. Then next one is read within parenthesis n. Did you see? Next operation read n. What is that? To read n characters from the file, which is used for reading n characters only. Okay, that means we can decide number of characters, how many characters we want to read. That we can decide to read n characters from the file starting from the cursor. If the file holds fewer than n characters, it will read until the end of the file. Okay, it used for reading n characters from the file. From where it will start? From the position of the cursor, that we can fix that cursor in the file. If the file holds fewer than n characters, for example, we given read 15. That means read 15 means it is used for reading 15 characters. Okay, if the file holds fewer than n characters, that means if file holds only 10 characters, we given 15 characters but which holds only 10 characters, what will happen? It will read until the end of the file. Okay, that means it will read that 10 characters, complete 10 characters. Actually we given 15 characters, but sufficient characters are not there, so it will read until that last part, that means end of the file. Okay, then next is read line. Next operation, read line. All these operations are performed for what? For reading from a file. Okay, reading from a file. Third one is read line, which is used to read only one from the file, starts reading from the cursor up to and including the end of the line character. Okay, end of the line character. Then what is its meaning? Which is used for reading only one from the file. If you want to uh, read only a single line, suppose in your file 4 or 5 lines are included. If you want to read and print only one line or each line, okay, one by one, if you want to print lines one by one, you can use this method, read line. Okay, to read only one from the file, starts reading from where? Like previous. Okay, starts from the position of cursor up to where, up to and including the end of the line character. Then last one is read lines. Read lines. What is its use? Which is used to read all lines from the file into a list. Okay, starts reading from the cursor up to end of the file and returns a list of lines. To read all lines from the file into a list, we already discussed about list at the beginning of this year. Okay, to read all lines from the file into a list, all lines from the file will read to into a list. Okay, then start reading from the cursor up to end of the file and returns a list of lines. Okay, for this purpose we can use for loop. Okay, that we will discuss later with an example. Okay, to read all lines from the file into a list, we can access or we can read lines from the file, and we can store that files that lines into a list. Okay, then from where it will starts reading from the file cursor up to where, up to the end of the file, and returns a list of lines. Finally we will get that list of lines. Okay, returns a list of lines. Then next we are going to discussing about different syntaxes related with this reading operation. We already discussed how to read data from a file, and different operations also we discussed. Read with n characters, read line, read lines. Okay, what is the purpose of read? Which is used to read the entire data from the file. For this you can use file object dot read. File object dot read. Okay, this is the syntax. Suppose the file name is f, file object name is f, then you can use f dot read. Okay, f dot read means it will read the entire data from the file. After reading that, you can use print function for printing that reader data. Then read n means to read n characters from the file. Read n file, its syntax is file object dot read of size. Okay, for example f dot read 10, read of 10, that means it will read 10 characters from the file. Then read line to read only one from the file, starts reading from the cursor up to and including the end of the line character. Its syntax file object dot read line. For example f dot read line. Then read lines to read all lines from the file into a list. For this you can use file object dot read lines. Okay, for example f dot read lines. Okay, these are the syntaxes. We can explain all these operations with examples. Okay, it is a very simple topic. When we discuss this theory part, sometimes you may have some confusions. If you have any confusions, you can call me. Otherwise you can you can move to next pages of your textbook. Okay, examples are given there. Kindly go through it. Surely you will get the idea about these operations. Okay, otherwise you can call me or text me. Anyway, today we can wind up our class. You kindly practice all these practicals, then only you will get the correct idea about this. Anyway, thank you, have a nice day.